Filmmaking is significant as it combines the power of storytelling, visual artistry, and cultural reflection to educate, entertain, and inspire audiences. Through films, stories come to life, allowing a platform to diversify perspectives, raise awareness about social issues, and provoke thought and discussion. Films have the ability to impact an individual and change their perceptions, emotions, and understanding of the world around them. Greetings to everyone present here. I am Ria, and I welcome you to the 2023 Footprint Film Festival closing ceremony. We have received entries from various parts of India, along with different parts of the world, including the Middle East. The difference in the filmmaking styles, languages, and themes of these movies has shown that art has no boundaries. Let us begin this section with a bhajan presentation by Mohali. Enjoy!
নমস্কার, আমি মোহেলি চক্রবর্তী। আমার গুরু বিদুষী এশা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়কে প্রণাম জানিয়ে আমি দুটি ভজন পরিবেশন করব। আমার সঙ্গে তবলায় সঙ্গ দিয়ে আছেন শ্রী দেবব্রত গুপ্ত। राम गोविंद हरि भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि राम गोविंद हरि राम गोविंद हरि 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 राम गोविंद हरि भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि जप तप साधन कछु नहीं लागत जप तप साधन कछु नहीं लागत खर्चत नहीं गठरी खर्चत नहीं गठरी हरि हरि राम गोविंद हरि भजो रे भैया राम गोविंद हरि
That was truly beautiful. It is true that music and art transcend any language barriers. Let us now have some words from Miss Ruhi Dikshit, a juror for the film festival.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ruhi Dikshit, and I'm one of the jury members for this year's Footprint Film Festival. I've had the great fortune of watching some amazing films made by children from across the country. I wanted to tell you that it's an act of great courage to say the things that we want to say in a medium that we think is best. So here's my heartiest congratulations to each and every person who participated in this festival and put their thoughts out there. I also wanted to tell you, please don't get caught up in things like grammar, technique, look, camera, production, feel. And they're really big words. And they're very important when you're making a film. But at the same time, it's really eventually the things that you have to say, and in a way that only you can say them. This year themes were really complex and extremely layered. I enjoyed watching so many of them. It's hard for me to list a few films from that whole lot of films that I watched. So I'm just going to say that each and every film left a mark on me. There was an impression of the filmmaker, and there was an impression of the person who was holding the podcast. So thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best in the coming few years. Please don't stop making films. Please don't stop saying what you have to say. Say it with courage. Say it loudly. Keep your own perspective ticking. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now call upon Mr. R.V. Ramani, another juror for the film festival.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ramani, jury member of this Footprint Film Festival. I will congratulate all the participants and filmmakers who have given their films, and those films are being screened. I was given a set of films to kind of look at and comment on it, and I was thinking must have seen about 60 odd films, and I found generally I found make some observations, and generally I found there are many films which are very original in its concept and kind of treatment, and also worked from a very intuitive position, trying to discover a narrative. There were many films which were, I would say, burdened by the topic either given to them or they have chosen. There were many films who were taken up very interesting subjects, and the treatment are good in some situations, some are partly good and partly not able to cope up with it. There were many films where the performances were very good, fiction films. Performances were very good, actors were very good. There were many films where cinematography was very good. Sometimes the sound recording was very good, or the production design, or the overall narrative structure and treatment and all that put together have come out well. So it's been like seeing about 60 odd films. It feels like, you see in a range of stuff. A few films I've shortlisted, which I can speak about maybe. Don't Give Up is the one film that deals with the boy who is not able to do academically well, but kind of comes from a small, family who are also struggling financially. There are expectations on this boy, and so that aspect is very nicely brought about. What I liked about it is that the filmmaker managed to bring a very beautiful rapport and relationship between the boy and his parents. I really like that, and it's in a short 3-minute film you could manage to do that was very interesting. A film called Monk's Life I found very interesting because it's a kind of a student's trip to a place in the mountains, and they meet a monk and then engage with him, and there's a conversation. It's a kind of a traditional approach, but in spite of that, what I liked about it is that the kind of connect it makes with the person, for the character, and it's very gentle, very respectful. It's also seeking and very dignified, and it's also like a very eager to share a film experience. kind of narrative. So I like that. And then there's a film called Muskan, which is about a young girl who's an aspiring athlete, but she's handicapped, and she does well. And her challenges and her mother's, kind of support structure that she lives on, relies on. That's very beautifully done. And I mean, apart from the topic itself, it's the kind of rapport the filmmakers and the crew have established with the characters and their comfort zones and all is very beautiful to watch. So it's a very intimate narrative of this two, my mother and a child who is an aspiring athlete. And then there is this film called Editing in Real Life, um, which is also very wonderful because it's a kind of a introvert look at making a film and making a cut and making editing and a kind of discovering a film time. So that it was like a spoof on its own, but at the same time it was very entertaining and very beautiful. One can see how much the filmmaker has enjoyed making this film. Um, and there was a film called Ardhanarishwara, which talks about women's predicament in today's times. Very beautifully done, good script and a good direction. And then I thought it had a fantastic flow, great imagery, blend of stills and videos, and done very passionately. But what I was surprised about was that he's a 14-year-old girl, but he managed to speak like an adult. And so I was wondering where it come from. I mean, how much of burden she's taken over, or how much has come from her own experiences, in terms of her anticipations and all that. So it is, yeah. Overall, it's a very beautiful collection of films, and lovely to see so many young people making films. Thank you for making me part of this narrative. Thank you.
It's been an honor and a pleasure to have been part of the Footprint Film Festival 2023, the fourth one in the series, and the first one where we've met face to face. It's a hybrid because the second day is an online. And I would like to thank Vidisha and Priyanjana for inviting me to chair the jury again this year. It's been a privilege to serve with a very varied set of eminent filmmakers and film aficionados on the jury. We've had over 150 films and 20 podcasts in 5 different languages, and many of the films which didn't have dialogue. We've had English, Hindi, Bengali, Kannada, and Tamil, which is pan-India. And a couple of have been bilingual, which adds to the authenticity of filmmaking. The topics, and we've had a lot of discussion of topics in the addas. I just want to do a quick review of that. We've had themes that reflect real life. We've had anxiety over exams and performance, body image and shaming, family troubles, drama over family and friends, female friendships, grief, learning disabilities, water conservation in school, adolescents' vacuum in a family, in a world of adults, obesity in boys, not just girls, which is the usual thing. We've also had more definitive, bolder themes, which are more, I wouldn't say significant as much as less addressed usually. We've had abuse at home, acid attacks, the caste system, disparity, unemployment, domestic violence, LGBTQ issues, patriarchy, gender roles, menstruation, which is not something that we talk about in our society very easily. There have been very sophisticated measures that have been used, using metaphors, for instance, to talk about these very typically unaddressed issues. The locations for shots have been unusual too. And we've had varied locations, not just indoors but outdoors, now that we don't have COVID anymore. The interpretation of the themes has been very subtle, layered. Some of the solutions offered have been unusual but very practical. So the scripts have been interesting. Character delineation has been a difficult question to address because many of the films are very short. I mean, in 2 and 3 minutes, you can't really see growth of a character. But the character has been delineated very clearly in some cases. a thoughtful boy who sees a classmate's distress, the anguish of an artist forced into a stream that he's not willing to go into, a sister's protective love for her brother. So hopefully, as these filmmakers grow, the characters will grow with them, and they'll be able to see that growth of characters. We've seen the beginning of very effective storytelling techniques. We've got the intonation, pitch, and speed of delivery, especially in the podcasts. They've been dramatic when required. They've been casual, setting a tone which is very much in keeping with the teens who make these films. But perhaps this could be a workshop for Footprint Film Festival 2024. But how these themes have been dealt with across the board show empathy, show sensitivity, and show an understanding of how they're growing in this society. Apart from straight shooting, as is normal with features, there have been quite a few animation, drawing, stop motion, gender bending techniques of Insta-reels, for instance. We've had many genres: narratives, documents, horror, realism, dystopian, time travel, crime, totally funny and straight out comedic. We've got a travelogue. One of the more intensive aspects of filmmaking, for instance, is lighting and sound. And we've had people, other judges from the jury who've talked about lighting. Music and sound is something we need to think about. A lot of people have used ambient sounds. Almost everybody has used music. Some fairly well, some not too well. Maybe for something like horror, using music to intensify the feeling of horror is what people could look at. To wind up now, we in the jury have identified 22 films for a special mention based on a criteria of content, plot, originality of idea, cinematography, sound, music, editing, which means pacing and structure, direction and production. We didn't award points for acting because that is really beyond what the nascent filmmaker and director can really call for. And some of this was kind of subsumed in the category of production. We divided the films into two categories: 10 to 17-year-olds and 18 to 24-year-olds. So in the first category of 10 to 17, we have 14 films that we've identified as really good, worth a mention, a special mention. And this is in no particular order. We've had A Monk's Life, which is a travelogue to which features the Buddhist monk. We've had The Wish, Editing in Real Life, The Proof, Finding a Voice, A Helping Hand, Fallen Peace, Basti Kahira, That Friend, Ardhanarishwara, Friends, Unrelated, Botanical Facade, and B-Step. In the second category of 18 to 24-year-old, we've had Nawazish, Sangharsh, Don't Give Up, A Short Drive, K-47, Vengeance of the Ellie, Muskan, Thiag, and Niger, The Reality. We had 19 submissions in the podcast, and they were in the age range of 10 to 17. More like 14 to 17. And out of the 19, there were 7 that we identified as worthy of mention. One was the Menstrual Hygiene, Aryan Talks, That's Me, Black Light, My Stories, Dinosaurs, Beating Around the Bush, The Unconcerned Threat, and The World Today, Body Shaming. Good luck with films next year. Thank you.
Let us now hear some words from the hard-working team members who have worked endlessly to make this event possible.
Hello everyone and a very good evening. As we come to the end of this wonderful event, I would really like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who were there to make this event a huge success. I would like to thank our festival directors Bidisha Roy Das and Prenjana Datta, without whom this would have been impossible. I would also like to thank Sarvati Das, whom we call Shampadi, and Debosri Chatterjee, who have tremendously worked hard and were always there whenever we needed help. Thank you, Shampadi and Debosri. I would also like to thank Usha Ramesh, who has helped us immensely to create our footprint brand. Thank you, Usha. This is a great opportunity to thank all our interns who had very efficiently and tirelessly fulfilled all the goals set up for them. They are great assets and we are really proud of them. Thank you, Samarth, Shruti, Riya, Navya, Isha, Abhishek, and Swarnil. Now I would love to thank those with whose efforts we have successfully conducted our first offline festival on 1st of July 2023 in IGNCA New Delhi. Our team thanks a ton to Subhashish Biswas, Subhashri Biswas, Rehan, Alap, Manan, Shomitra Das, Jagannath Roy, Sukhangshu Chatterjee, Meher, Bipin, Narendraji, Zahid, Annika, Pragya, Madhu Akshi, Shireen, Sri Datri, Sri Roop, Nitika, Devmala Biswas, and Shubhangi Biswas. The feeling is really overwhelming when you have to say goodbye. But there is always hope as we all meet again next year with the same enthusiasm. See you all, stay blessed, and thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharburi Das. I hope you all enjoyed this festival as much as we did, working together as a team to put it up in the manner it is in front of you today. I would like to thank my team members, Bidisha, Priyanjana, Usha, Debosri, and Rituparna. There were other members who worked very, very hard to support us, to help us in putting it up all together. Thank you all very, very much. My friend Rituparna has already mentioned their names. I would like to thank our collaborators, as this festival has been a very, very special festival for us. This time, we have come up with one day offline festival along with the online festival. I would like to thank IGNCA, Chenli, MESC, Quizcraft Global, the Peninsula Studios. A festival of this kind is never complete and cannot happen without the help of family and friends. In this regard, I would like to take few names and thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Mrs. Rita Roy, Mr. Raj Duggar, Mr. Rajiv Mukherjee, Ms. Sudeshna Datta, Ms. Porna Ghosh, Usha Ramesh, Sandeepan Das, Prithvi, Anita, Preeti, Usha, Ela, Ashima, Tehmina, and Apurna. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Greetings from Canada. Here we are at the closing of the 4th Footprint Film Festival. I have the happy privilege to be part of this event. And on this occasion, I would like to say thank you to our founders and the directors of the Footprint Film Festival. Ms. Bidisha Roy Das, heart and soul of the foundation, and Ms. Priyanjana Datta, the bestest mentor ever. Thank you, Bidishadi. Thank you, Priyanjanadi. We express our deepest gratitude to distinguished juries for your time and support to make this event a great success. Thank you to the chairperson, Dr. Hema Ramanathan, Ms. Ankur Ahuja, Ms. Ruhi Dikshit, Mr. Kabir Kidwai, and Mr. R.V. Ramani. Big thanks to all the juries. I would also like to take a moment to say thank you to Ms. Nandita Basu for her wonderful graphic novel workshop, and to Ms. Usha Ramesh, our beautiful Ushadi, for her contributions. Last but not the least, I would like to say thank you to our super strongest coordinators, Ms. Rituparna Biswas, our loveliest Rituparnadi, and Ms. Sharbari Das, our sweetest Shampadi. Thank you for your tremendous support throughout the festival. Hope you all enjoyed attending our event as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Wish everybody good health and lots of happiness. We look forward to see you all in the next year's event. Till then, take care. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'ams. As the event comes to an end, I would like to extend my thanks of gratitude to everyone present here. We hope you have had as much fun as we have, and we hope to see you next year.